Uh, I want to welcome everyone. Um, so, this is London in UK. Yeah, precisely. Uh, I arrived here about a few weeks ago, and basically, I'm going to be putting my experiences so far. There's been a lot actually since I arrived. So many experiences. I remember watching some of these YouTube videos too. And I'm like, okay, this is how this place is. I would say, really, many of the YouTube videos we watch about Nigerians living in the UK, many of them are actually true, and many of them are not actually true. So basically, you get a lot on this my channel. Yeah, we'll do so many interviews, we'll do so many collaborations. And if you're someone that is planning to move here, whether this year, next year, upper year, you want to come here to study, you want to come here to live, trust me, you would enjoy this channel. And if you're somebody also who is, you want to see, you know, the diaspora, precisely London, UK, outside what you see on TV, you want to see something, let me say, something you will not naturally see on TV or in movies, this channel is for you. So I want to welcome you all, especially if you already know me from my previous channel. Yeah, I was actually thinking, should I start something on, should I start this new journey on my previous channel, or I should start it on my on a new channel actually. But I think I finally made that decision that it's going to be on a new channel. I don't want to, because that channel is a niche channel, I don't want to disrupt it with my personal activity. So we are going to be starting from ground zero. Yeah, we're going to be starting from ground zero. So which means 0 subscribers, 0 views, and by God's grace, this is going to move to the level we expect it to move to. Now, peradventure, in my next video, I'll be giving out some details, but let me just give a few things I saw on the day of my traveling, and when I arrived in UK, some of the things I experienced. Funny, right? I was discussing with a family friend of ours on Saturday, precisely when we went for shopping, some of the things I saw at the immigration office, and they were like, this is really, really surprising or amazing. Everybody had this, both our husband and our wife and his wife, both the husband and the wife rather, they had these mixed feelings. Although the husband is a citizen, the wife is a student. She came in and she was also telling me about her encounter at the immigration before she stepped in to the UK. Because the thing about immigration is, UK immigration is, if you don't know, for those of us that are pretty new to it, the thing about UK immigration is, it is until you pass the immigration that you have gotten to UK. If you like, use the toilet at Heathrow Airport or whichever airport, it is until you pass the immigration that you have entered the UK. So there's a thin line. That line is so thin that it is between where you are standing as an immigrant and the UK. So I saw so many things at the airport. I was told probably because it was on Saturday that I came in. But one of the things that surprised me the most was, number one, the crowd, or those that entered the UK that day. I entered the UK on Saturday, and those of us that entered at that particular time that I landed, we were about 10,000. And truth be told, I'm not exaggerating, like 10,000. Like, imagine when you're on a long queue. If you know the third mainland very well, imagine when you're on a long queue from the beginning of third mainland to almost half of third mainland, or let me not say almost half, just like quarter of third mainland, and you're on a long queue. This queue is filled with human beings that are waiting to be checked in into UK. Now, also, I would like to briefly say that there's this overhype. You know, people tell people tell you that Nigerians are too much in the UK. Africans, Africans are too much. Even, you hear some people say that or everybody wants to japa. They share a video of Murtala Mohammed Airport. You see 5,000 Nigerians there. Bro, I'll tell you that, first of all, not all those travelers are going to the UK. Some are going to Canada. Some are going to the US. Some are even going to countries that are not popular, like Australia, Hungary, many of these countries. So maximum of what you would see, maximum of the people that are going to the UK out of all those people you are seeing might not be more than maybe 200 or 300 at most. Because when I landed at Heathrow Airport, the Nigerians that I saw, or specifically the Africans that I saw, we're not even, out of that population of people I told you, we're not even up to 10%. I'm telling you. Many of those that I saw were actually Asians, especially Indians and Chinese and Japanese. They were the people that were much. In fact, let me mention that scenario that I saw. Right before I was checked in, I was in front of some Nigerians, and I had some guys too, specifically two brothers that were studying in the UK, and they were coming for the first time. So we saw an Indian lady. I think she was the main applicant, and she brought in, if I'm correct, 5 dependents. Because she makes it a 60 dependent. She brought in 5 dependents. I think her husband, her children, and also her sister's child, which of course she also said was a dependent because the child has been living with her since her childhood. So the immigration officer was talking to her and was like, they are too much. Like, you guys are too much. 6 of you are entering the UK using one applicant. That they are too much. That they are sorry they can't allow her into the UK. And the next thing she said was that, but she applied at the immigration office back at her home country, and they never saw an issue with it. And she was like, if they didn't see an issue with it, why would they stop her from entering? So basically, she thought that by saying that, they would typically agree that, okay, you applied to the visa office or immigration office back at your home country, they gave you the go-ahead. So basically, we're going to give you the go-ahead. But the immigration officer was telling her that, we are sorry, we can't allow the 6 of you into the UK. You're going to choose, is either, I don't know. So the guy just called his supervisor, and the guy was telling the supervisor the situation, and the supervisor said that she's sorry, that she can't absolutely allow the 6 of them into the UK using just one, application. They said they are too much. So one thing I noticed that the supervisor said that really struck me was that she said, if people are entering into the UK every day like this, like 6 people using one application, that at some point everywhere will be filled up. And that struck me like, okay, I think this woman is making sense. So like everywhere will be filled up because naturally, if you enter the bus, I don't know about any or every other part in the UK, but precisely in London, the most immigrants you will see is either the Indians or the Chinese. Those are the most immigrants you will see. The probability of seeing a native black, like somebody from Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, or the like, is very, very slim. So it shows that they truly have, a high population here. So, and because of that, of course, I was waiting to be checked in. So once it was my turn, I went to meet the immigration officer. He smiled at me, asked for my passport, asked me some questions. If you want to know those questions, you should check out the next video that I'll be uploading. So, and if you also want to know more details of because this one, the scenario that I just talked about, what I experienced, what I just talked about, is not only what I experienced. I'm going to be talking about. I can't explain all of them in this introductory video. So basically, if you want to know more, watch out for the next video, and I'll see you in the next one.